Right, so hello everyone, good evening from England, or good morning wherever you are, good afternoon. So obviously I'm not Tasha, so I'm going to kind of just wing it on this week's training. Get you guys to share pointers and struggles and stuff, and Jazz is also going to share some stuff about self-belief, which is going to be great. So I was just going to ask a general question with how everyone's getting on, really. If you to sort of, I've already done it, but sort of mark yourselves out of 10 for like, think of it from the start of this year. I know all of you guys haven't probably been in from the start of this year, but from, when you started. So 1 to 10 out of 4 consistency. So obviously 1 being none, 10 being the top. Passion in what you're doing, and belief in what you're doing as well. 'Cause everything starts with believing in yourself and believing in what you're doing, basically. So you don't have to share that on this call, but it's a good thing to do to see how you're getting on and actually be honest with yourself. I mean, if you want to share, you can do, but type it in the comments, but be honest with yourself. Have you actually been 10 out of 10 for consistency if you've written that? Because obviously consistency is what is key, which is what we always repeat, because it's whether you're doing a little or a lot every single day. If you're doing something great, I think I shared last week what John Holloway, I think it was, said at training last week. He said, if you think about it, if you're doing out of 10 a day, so some days you might do 8, some days you might do 2, some days you might do 5, it varies. As long as you're not doing 0 on any of those days, you're still doing work in order to build your business and to have a successful outcome, basically. If you're doing 0 on several of those days, then you're not actually, sorry, I'm just going to mute you, Lucy. You're not actually doing work in order to build your business and talk to people, which is exactly what this business is. It's easy, like just talking to people. So my sales were not a 10 on that, and yeah, really see how you're doing, how you're getting on with things. Do you feel on track with where you are? Because it's, what day is it? It's the 18th. So we've still got like just under 2 weeks, I think, for the rest of this month. So it's still doable to build your business and be promoted this month. It all takes consistency and dedication to do it. Do you really want it? Because if you're not working at least 5 out of 10, you're not doing work to build your business. So yeah, that's kind of how I've rated myself. You can also do the closing the gap exercise, which is quite similar. Where are you at? So where are you at in terms of customers, team members, and points? So for people who are new on the call, points is just, it's how we get promoted. You get a certain amount of points for positions, but yeah, once you get more into the business, you learn more about that sort of thing. So where are you at in terms of those 3 things? And where do you want to be in terms of clients, team members, and points? And thirdly, what do you actually have to do to get there? So if you've, not got what you need to be promoted, then you need to sit down and work out, is it you need to work on consistency? Do you need to talk to more people? Do you need to have more of a presence on Facebook, do more personal development? That is one of mine. Hold my hands up. Personal development is my weakness. I've never really been great at doing it, and I really need to step up and do that more. So, if that's one of yours, you need to improve on doing that every single day as part of your DMO. So that's the closing the gap exercise, and it really grounds you to see where you're at and how you're going to get through the rest of the month, at what you want to get out of it and what you want to achieve, basically. So you can do that any time of the month. You can do it, for every single new month, and then you can really set yourself off strong at the start of the month. You want to use the first 2 weeks in order to build and get team members, so then in the other 2 weeks you can show your team members how to get their first promotions and start really building off strong, and then the start off the business as strong as possible. Jazzy's still here. If Jazzy's free, she's going to share something about self-belief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so I've got a bit more than self-belief, but that's alright. I did forget about this course, so I'm still writing all my notes down. So hi guys. I think I know most of everyone on here, but for those who I don't know, my name's Jazzy. I'm actually in Queensland, Australia, so completely different time frames to most of you. But I come from a background of severe mental health, so I have really aggressive depression and anxiety. I suffer from separation anxiety and a lot of things that kind of come in that bubble of things. I joined the business quite a few months ago now, and I had a massive dramatic change with my life. I soon realized that I wasn't this depressed girl that I used to be. I had the ability to do things. My anxiety had dropped. My life had really just completely changed around, and it gave me the power to live my life like I should have been 2 years prior. So I just wanted to jump on here today. Tasha did say to give you some advice on self-belief, and although I do have self-belief notes, I do want to go through gratitude and goals as well, because I feel like they all kind of go together. And I wanted to talk about everything today that you can do away from your business, because I feel like if you're not yourself and you're not strong within yourself, that reflects on your business. So I don't know how many people on here do like gratitude journals or anything like that, but once you start becoming kind of grateful for the things you have, you see a massive difference. I have gone from living my life, from literally having my whole funeral planned. I had everything down to the T planned. I knew what time I wanted my eulogies read. I knew what time, everything that was going to happen, I had that planned, and I wasn't grateful for anything that I was given because I wasn't in the right mindset. So I've really taken it on board to be grateful for everything that kind of comes in my way, whether it's good or bad, because if it's a bad moment, you're still, it's still meant to be in there, and your worst days kind of shape you for your best days. So you've got to kind of still be grateful for your worst days. And, being grateful, instead of being grateful for a thing or a person or an object, like, how can I explain this? So instead of me going, oh, I'm grateful for my partner and, he's just amazing and, oh, I'm just grateful for him. Be grateful for a moment, because when you relive a moment, you get that feeling that you had within that moment. So whether it's, you got your first promotion, you really, that feeling that you had when you got that first promotion actually gets relived when you think about that moment. So be grateful for moments, still be grateful for people and things, but really extend on being grateful for moments. And I tell you what, the feeling that you get, and you get to relive in moments that you forget about, and you kind of think, oh, that was a good moment, but probably never get that one back. Start reliving it, and you start reliving that feeling that you had. And then what else for gratitude? Doing an hour of power of gratitude, which is so you block out an hour in your week whenever it suits you, and sending a message or a text message or something to someone who has impacted you that week. So it can be your mum, your partner, complete stranger. It could be a Facebook page that had to put up a quote or an affirmation that really, meant something to you. But giving that gratitude to other people and letting them know that you're thankful for what they did, or you're thankful for who they are, or because gratitude is kind of not something that we just do on an everyday basis. Of, you don't just send your mum a message and say I'm thankful for you, and this is what you mean to me. You kind of just don't do that on a Monday morning when you've just woken up. But if you have that hour to really think about, you know, someone who's impacted you that week, that month or something, you kind of sit there and you think about all the things they've done for you and how you should probably tell them a bit more that, you know, you're grateful for them and that they've made an impact on your life. So on a complete switch on that, I'm really not a training person. I kind of just talk. Setting goals for the business and for yourself is kind of really, really important. I never used to think I was worthy of goals or visions or anything because I thought that I should just be in the ground and that's just the way my life should be. But when I started setting goals and, you know, really putting them in front of me, they gave me a reason to put that foot in front of the other every morning and just keep going. And, you know, once you achieve a goal that you've had in front of you for ages, that feeling of accomplishment is just an unreal feeling. So setting a goal and then reserving it, you know, saying by this date I want to have this and what am I going to do to get there? But also on the flip side of that is saying how badly do you want it? You know, to have a goal in front of you that you really, really want will make you work even harder for it. But then what happens if I don't get it? How will I feel and what will I do to make sure that I accomplish it next time round? Because I feel like sometimes we set these goals and we make them humongous and we have these timelines, and sometimes if we don't get it, we kind of put ourselves back on it. So from the initial day that you set that goal, thinking about, you know, what is that day that you want to reserve that goal by? But then if I don't get it, how am I going to feel about it? And what am I going to do it next time? So you're not getting that, it's not disappointment, but that feeling of, you know, oh my goodness, I've got this much to do and my deadline is tomorrow. Instead of having that immense kind of stress and feeling in your body, knowing that this is how I said I would feel and this is how I said that I'd cope with it and how I'm going to do it next time. Studying people that you really want to be like is kind of a thing that I never understood and I never really got, because I didn't understand how looking at people and looking at their Instagram and looking at how they live their life was really going to make an impact on me, because I thought, oh, that's their life, this is my life. I'm never going to be like them, blah, 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 blah. I actually started this probably 6 months ago, and I mean studying, not stalking. But studying people you want to be like, seeing how they live their life. If they do affirmations in the morning, you know, why can't you try that and see if that works for you? Or, you know, being grateful for people, you can try that in your life and, you know, really kind of study how they live their life and how they make themselves happy. And literally studying people is just like our training, like we're on right now. It's just learning tips from other people who have other stories, other backgrounds, you know, other struggles. Everyone has different tips and tricks for life. And I know that if I had my team members do this call, it'd be completely different, because they have their own struggles, they have their own ways that they deal with it. So studying with someone you want to be like, learn what they do and how, you know, how kind of they go through their Monday mornings and how they celebrate their Friday, Saturday, Sundays, and, you know, aspire to be like them and, you know, learn the ways they do. And then going on the thing that I was actually meant to talk about, self-belief. A lot of us have a massive, massive hole in this part, and some people kind of find it really, really hard to start to have that self-belief, and I know that I did. I was a massive person for, you know, I once never believed in myself, so how am I ever going to believe in myself now? And, you know, self-belief is always, always able to be learned. It's not something that, you know, you have to be born with to have, or, you know, you had to have it from day one. It can be learnt whether you're 40, 50, 28, you know, 10, 4. It can be learnt. It's you know, something that is teachable, and you can always learn how to believe in yourself. And I don't know if you know Linda, but Linda talks about learning and recognizing the negative voices in your head. So your negative Nancy's and your Debbie Downers and stuff, and actually learning them, recognizing who they are, and when they come to visit, actually learning how to block them away and be, you know, we're not having negative Nancy today, or we're not having Debbie Downers and stuff, and kind of bring back those happy people. And I know a lot of people actually name their emotions differently, so don't feel like you have to go with Debbie Downers and stuff, but name your emotions, name them how you want to, so when they come, you know how to deal with them, and you can block them out if that's not how you want to feel. And I think the most important thing, and it's going to be my last thing this morning, but be your own motivational coach, because when you have your own goals and your own visions and your own why on why you're here and why you woke up this morning and why you're doing everything that you're doing, that all comes back to you. And you can have my tips and tricks, and you can have Tasha's absolute mastermind things that she comes out with. But at the end of the day, it's your choice to go away and implement them in your own way. And you have to be your own kind of motivational coach to get you through those days. So find something that kind of makes you drive to be a better person, and you aspire to be the person that you really want to be. Because at the end of the day, I can say as much as I can say, Tasha can say as much as she can say, anyone on training can say what they can do, but it comes down to you and you being your own motivational coach and your own drive and passion to do this. Because I think we all get caught up in kind of living to what other people say and not making our own twist on it. So I'll pass it back. I hope you got anything out of that.
Yeah, no, that was great. Thank you. Yeah, just to kind of reflect all of what Jazzy said, really, you know, gratitude is such a major thing, because I mean, I've never actually done a gratitude journal, but it's a really great idea. I might start one of those myself, because you've got to remind yourself why you're grateful for a certain person in your life, certain thing, what happened, because otherwise you do end up just in your head. I know I've been guilty of it before, is thinking of all the bad things and the negative stuff, what's happened and why has that happened and why has that person said that, and you go down that route of, you know, like Jazzy said, having those negative voices in your head, instead of actually writing it down and actually thinking, wait, no, I've got this person and this is what they've done for me, etc. You know, thinking of the good stuff rather than always thinking of the negative, because you're just feeding that, and then that's when you end up, you know, losing motivation, losing passion, etc. You know, so yeah, gratitude journal is a really great idea. I think I might start doing that too. Yeah, just in general, gratitude is great. You know, personal development, like I was on about as well. It's so important to work on your own mindset as well, because the way I see it is you've got to help yourself before you can help others. Obviously, this whole business and team is about helping other people with their health, their lives, you know, really helping your team to build their own team so they can help themselves. But at the same time, you have got to work on your own mental state, your own mental strength, because you can't, speaking from experience, you can't help as many people as you need to be what you want it to be for yourself, if you don't have the mental strength, if you don't have the belief in yourself that you can do this and that you can do anything basically, and that this is going to be a success for you, then how can you say that to your team members? You know, if you don't have that belief in yourself and stuff, then you can't expect them to feel any different, if you understand what I mean. Like, so definitely working on your own personal belief and development and building up that strength is so important. So I, for one, I'm definitely going to step up and make sure I make myself and hold myself accountable to doing that every single day, because everyone's got their weak points and that is mine. I am terrible for doing that and I admit that. So definitely I'm gonna hold myself to doing that. I'm gonna pass over to Jenny. Jenny had some things she wanted to share as well, and then time is it? We'll wrap up after Jenny has finished because it's 25 past now. So if you want to unmute yourself, Jenny.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so I have a couple things I'd like to share with you today. So my personal development is something I need to work on as well. So today I have took the time to watch 2 webinars, and today on my Memories to Look Back On, I have found an ebook, and it's basically, I never even thought no more of it, but I decided to download it and watch the webinar that came with it, and it was so amazing. I just want to share a couple points with you guys because it also goes along with your thoughts and believing in yourself, and really just like how you can change if you're having a bad day or if you're having bad thoughts, how you can kind of change your mindset about it. So this gentleman, he basically said, you have a mind, but you're not your mind. You are not the thoughts, like you can hear the thoughts coming in your brain and stuff like that, but they are not you. You're not, like, just like you have a hand, you have a foot, you have those things, but you're not those things. So he basically said your mind is not to be trusted at all, and because our brain is made to be a mechanic, like a protection mechanism is what he explained it to be. But he said that there's 2 elements of change that we can do, and the first is awareness of our bad thoughts, and the second one is understanding those thoughts. And an example he gave was our objective world, like the world as we know it, is the same, but to each of us it's different, like, because our mind is filled as a filing cabinet, and as from birth on we're filled with knowledge and this and that, and is it really all true knowledge? Are we able to like differentiate that? So basically he said reality is personal. Know thyself. And where we get our views and stuff is from everybody else, and what's in our mind and what's in it is what we've learned. But we can separate ourselves from what we've learned and what the truth is, and it's all by choice. So your mind is a survival mechanism, and its main job is to protect. It's protection. It does not protect you, it protects itself. Your mind looks at everything as a problem, and even if there's no problem there, it still makes a problem. For an example, if you go buy a coffee or a latte, like he said, how many people, if it's not made 100% right, really complain and make a big stink about that? I know I've made a stink about it. It's something that can work on. But I basically just want to share this with you guys because it's all like made my mind blow up today, because I have a lot of issues with thinking positive and staying away from letting my anxiety take over and my depression. So it just says, he said, do not believe what your mind thinks. He says consciousness is a living choice in the present versus living in programming from your past. And several methods that you can use to tame your mind are the 4 magic words. These made me so happy. 4 magic words when your brain is telling you, you know this, you can't do this is not good for you, are thank you for sharing. And then you get to choose a new empowering thought to replace it with. And he said it's called managing your mind, or else your mind will manage you. And there's 3 laws of thought, you guys, that I want to share with you. He said you have the ability to control the ideas and thoughts that you put into your mind. The second one is you have the ability to remove the thoughts and stuff from your mind, as well as the third law of thought is that you have the ability to install thoughts and wonderful thoughts in your mind. And he said the greatest word ever is power, and your greatest power is your ability to control and choose your own thoughts. Your thoughts create your life, and they power ourselves as people. And I cannot wait to go back and rewatch this because this was just what I took from quickly, and I really just want to share with you guys because I know that it's something I struggle with, and I know a couple other people on our team struggle with. So I have shared the link for that ebook as well as the webinar, so you guys can schedule it. I have shared it in WhatsApp as well as I have tagged my team in it. So if they want to choose to share it and tag it with some more people, they're more than welcome to. But I think it's an absolutely amazing, mind-blowing webinar, and I am so excited to watch or read the book. The book is called Mind Frick, and that is the end of my rant on thoughts and stuff like that. The other thing I would like to touch on, you guys, is we are currently, Rachel is hosting, but I'm taking a big part in it, so I thought I would describe it and help see if you guys are interested in joining it. We are throwing a 10-day self-care challenge right now, and it's all about, there's 3 tasks a day for 10 days, and it's all about really just taking at least 10 minutes out of your day and really just doing something for yourself and taking care of yourself. Like the other night, our creative challenge for our mind was to draw, and I have not drawn, as you noticed, I have artwork and stuff behind me, and that's something that I always had a passion for. And because I got into a very depressive and very negative relationship and abusive, and I basically just gave it up because I wasn't happy no more, and I didn't see the light and the passion that I always had. And to make it a challenge the other night, I ended up drawing, and some of you probably have seen this on Facebook, but I'm gonna work on trying to edit it out a little more. I just rushed to do it, but Healthy and Empowered has really inspired me and helped change my mindset on my life. And I still have my days I struggle, as we all do, but I really this self-care challenge is definitely been something that I needed to do because I don't do enough self-care. I'm a single mom and I worry about my son. And so the fact that I've been able to get up and do these tasks each day and just take time for myself has been amazing. And I think everybody needs to be able to do that. And I think I'm going to hand that back over because I've been rambling, and I'm going to hand it
Can
back
I
over.
just say there, Jenny, you've made me cry. Why do you always do this? When I first started the self-care challenge, I had no idea where it was going, I just thought people need to spend a bit more time on themselves. And when you were speaking there, it really brought back so much for me because I've been through abusive relationships as well. I had no idea that you had. And I think when you experience things like that, the experiences you go through, it takes away a lot more from you than everything that it takes from you. Your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your friendships, your family, it goes on. To something like that, a core integral part of yourself, it can feel like it's taken away from you. And I can't believe that something as simple as an idea like that can bring that back for you. And that's why you won that challenge, because I couldn't believe it when I was reading. It wasn't just you. There was loads of other people saying the same. They felt silly because they were doing creativity challenges, sharing these things that they were up to. But they loved doing it, and I love that I've helped people to push themselves back past these boundaries. And it's exactly the same for each and every one of you. Yvette, you are a beautiful woman. We're always talking now. I don't know why. We just do throughout the day. And if you hadn't have took up the opportunity, then Tasha wouldn't have took up the opportunity, and then Becca wouldn't have, and then I wouldn't have, and then Jenny wouldn't have. And I've got some like amazing friends on this call, and it's just my purpose when I first started this was I have no idea where I'm going with my life. I wouldn't mind a little bit extra cash, and it has changed like into giving me purpose and reason to wake up in the morning, and I can't believe that it's grown into what it has. And I'm just so grateful for like everything that you've shared, and I feel so blessed that I've got everyone in my life like you all here on here. So I just wanted to really share that love with everyone and just say thank you for sharing in the group, and keep sharing in the group, everyone. If you get time, it's really difficult for us to find 10 minutes for ourselves, so just find that little bit of time and have some fun doing the tasks. And yeah, that's what I had to add in there. So thank you guys. Put Becca back on.
Thanks, Rich. I didn't realise you'd come onto the call, but I'm glad you joined the call. I think you've made Yvette cry. Everyone's very emotional tonight. But you know, what everyone said on this call has been so true. Like, you can see the passion and, you know, the heart, what goes into this. Like, and it's so easy to do, but you're doing it to help other people, and it sounds like corny, but the heartwarming feeling you get from knowing that you've helped someone, like Rachel said, you know, when you first start, you think, yeah, I'll try this out. You know, I need a bit of extra cash, blah, blah, blah. And then when you get into it and you see the bigger picture, it's just like mind blowing. Jenny, thank you so much for sharing all of that. I was just like glued listening to what you're saying, and I'm definitely going to watch that webinar. I haven't watched it yet, but it sounds incredible. You know, and this is why I need to step up and do personal development, because you can see and you can hear the passion through what Rachel and Jenny are saying. Like, it's crazy, like what just sitting and watching videos and working on your mindset is, you know, can do for you. It's incredible. I'm loving all these messages, guys. But yeah, no, it's incredible. And thank you, everyone, Jazzy, Rachel, Jenny, everyone for sharing tonight. Like, it's incredible how everyone stepped up to do this. Like, this is the great thing I was just thinking of. Tasha's obviously doing London Fashion Week, so, you know, she's stressed out, she's really busy, and it's just great that all of you guys have just stepped right up and taken control and helped in this call, you know, to help Tasha out, because we all know she's a busy woman, you know, and for us to be able to do this for her is great. So thank you, everyone, for sharing. We've got 3 minutes left, so I'm going to probably wrap it up before we end up getting cut off, unless anyone's got any last minute things they want to add. I think no, because at half of the call are crying. I'm not sure everyone wants to come on.
Sheena's just said there, a positive, what is it? A positive quartz jar. Yes, that's a fantastic idea.
That's a really cool idea. Right.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you. Quartz jar. Colour code stuff which help me depending on my mood, if I'm anxious, like blue, etc. That's a really cool idea, because I know a lot of people on the team suffer from mental health issues, you know, I for one, you know, and that's kind of one of the things, as bad as it is, what brings us all together, because we can all relate to and help each other through stuff like that, which is great. And that's a really cool idea, so thank you for sharing. Right, so if anyone's got anything else to share, then we will. Morning affirmation card set, learning your worth. Yes, I've got the I am cards. If anyone's not got them, then I was going to say best person to get in contact with Tasha, but she's got a lot on. Yvette's holding some up right now. We can try and get you in contact with someone who can get you some. They're in America, I think. So, but they're really great, and it's just I am, and then it's got a positive thing for the day. So I am grateful, I am fantastic, I am worthy, etc. So it's basically a positive affirmation on a card, basically what you choose. Yvette's holding some up, you know, and I've actually slapped on using those, and I'm not quite sure why, but they're really great, and it's got a description of what it is, and I started taking them around with me on every single day, just so you can remind yourself throughout the day of what that card is and what you are that day, basically. So I'm definitely going to wrap up now. And yeah, thanks everyone again for sharing. This has been awesome. And hope to see you all on next week's call, and hopefully we'll have Tasha back. So I'm going to stop recording.